He was dragged off the top of the structure in no small amount of danger himself, unable to do anything to help me, so he has to just help himself and drag himself back to the diving bell in very, very difficult conditions. He told me he was absolutely exhausted by the time he did get back there. But just before he got dragged away, he was sort of being pulled back alongside my umbilical, which is creaking and groaning and straining under the massive tension it was under, and then very abruptly, like a shotgun going off, it snaps. But that meant that the tension was relieved on me, if you like, and I fell backwards from the top of the structure. I fell the 10 meters back down to the seabed and landed on my back, like a bit of an upturned turtle. And yeah, it was. I remember almost pausing for a second in disbelief. Really, it's strange. I hadn't really worked out, I don't think, what was going on. I also remember the incredible darkness, like a darkness I've never known before or since. Really, I literally couldn't see the shadow of my hand in front of my face, which is very disorientating. Obviously, it's a sort of disorientating, confusing place to be at the best of times, even with a light and a compass and somebody telling you where to go. But even at that point, I don't think I was thinking very much about what was going on. You are just thinking, I need to get myself back to that diving bell, to that breathable environment before I run out of gas. And so I sort of got myself to my feet in a pretty ungainly fashion. We wear a pair of, I think people always imagine us just finning gracefully about, but we wear a pair of yellow cheap fisherman's wellies, and we're wandering around on the seabed all the time wearing all kinds of cumbersome equipment. But I didn't know, I felt I needed to go upwards. I needed to get to the top of the structure again, mostly to be able to see where the diving bell was, or to make it easier for people to find me as well. But I had no idea where that was. It was an enormous thing and painted bright yellow, but in that darkness I couldn't see it at all. So a bit like setting off, to the toilet in the middle of the night, I put my hands out in front of me and set out in hope more of an expectation, I think. And yeah, I mean, we suffered this terrible dose of bad luck, if you want to call it that. And then subsequently, because obviously I am sat here, a lot of good luck. And one of those doses of good luck was, I took a couple of steps and bumped straight into what I assumed was the structure. I wasn't really sure even then, but something big and felt metallic. I could very easily have turned and gone the other way, very, very easily, and ended up in no man's land and lost on the seabed, I guess, and which would have rendered finding me and therefore rescuing me infinitely more difficult. But yeah, I did find it, and I remember being scared that I would lose it, so I sort of edged my way along it and tried to find a way to climb up. Eventually I found a hose that had enough purchase that I was able to get myself back to the top.